sports, 100% reflective. Sometimes it's Raven. Sometimes it's other teams affected. Hold on tight, strap in. It's gonna get hectic. Couch Rider Report, an original sports perspective. Hey, y'all made it. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this is the Couch Rider Report, and this is your host, Jermaine Lockett. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you, and I thank you for the last video. Y'all won't believe what happened. Actually, you probably will. If you just look at the last video, I hit 6,700 views, which is an all-time high for Couch Rider Report and Jermaine Lockett. I really do appreciate y'all. And guess what? Because of you, I got to throw my son in an irrigation canal. You're probably like, what? Yes, I appreciate you because we made a small bet. It was supposed to be just a banana split, but things got out of hand. He said double or nothing when it came to the amount of views. He thought I couldn't get 500. Here we are at 6,700. So I was like, yo, let's go. And of course, he gets thrown in the irrigation canal as a result. Of course, I grabbed him out. Yes, what kind of father do you think I am? Look, don't be calling peoples on me. Here we go. Today, I wanted to talk to you about tight ends, or somebody who probably should move over to tight end. But first, we'll focus on the obvious tight end situation that is all over mainstream media. Tebow to Jacksonville. Look, people ask me what do I think about it? What do I think about the signing of Tebow? Well, I really don't, to be honest. They got to pay some bills. They need to get people, they need to get fans in the stands, because last time I checked, they were putting tarp over top of their seats to make quotas so that they didn't have to black out their networks. So Tebow's going to help out with that. He's going to help with some fans in the stands. He might score 2 touchdowns this year if he makes the roster. It's a long shot, but it goes to show you it's not what you know. It's not what you can do. It's who you know. And Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow have a connection that has been together for years. And Tebow just hadn't played in years. And I honestly don't think it's fair, because there's a lot of young bucks who deserve a shot to make a roster. And because of their relationship, Tebow gets an automatic shot in his 30s. I'm just saying. Whatever. Moving on to somebody who needs to move over to tight end, Miles Boykin. Y'all probably like, what? What? He's going to move over to tight end? No, look, you got to look at the spots right now. He's got to compete with either 5 wide receivers or 5 tight ends for a spot. He's got a better chance of beating out Tomlinson, this dude Polian, Oliver, Wolf, and Breland for a spot than he does have a chance to beat out some of the guys in the wide receiver spots. And I say that because it's just time for him to move over to the tight end spot. We're trying to make him to the new Darren Waller. Y'all seen what Waller did. He got cut from Baltimore because of drug use and injuries. So he had those suspensions, and Harv's just kind of like, hey, look, I'm done with you. I've given up. I've tried to hang on as long as he could. Harv's likes his tall wide receivers, and he gave up on this gentleman, and rightfully so, because it was a wake-up call, and Darren had to go remake himself into greatness, and he did. He went and had 2 back-to-back 1,100-yard seasons and 12 touchdowns when he went to Las Vegas. They benefited off of somebody needed a wake-up call. I'm hoping that Boykin can get that wake-up call here to say, hey, look, I ain't under no drugs. I don't have no injuries. Let's be great here. But let's do it at the tight end position. And why do I say move over to the tight end position? It's because Boykins has certain abilities, and those abilities match up with the tight end position better than they do with the wide receiver position. So let's look at, when you look at the wide receiver position, we're talking about a couple of things. We're talking about separation, hands, ball skills, and blocking. Well, when it comes to separation, I had to give Boykin probably a C- in that category. I had to give him a B. I gave him a B+ in hands, because when he is throwing the ball and is a catchable ball, he got a B+. He catches the ball. He only had 2 drops in 2019, or maybe 3 drops in 2019, and 0 drops in 2020 for those balls that were catchable and balls that were in that range. But when it came to the ball skills and fighting for separation and fighting for yards after the catch, I just didn't see it. But when it came to blocking DBs, I had to give him an A. Gave him an A+, because that's what he does, and that's what Baltimore likes about Miles Boykin, is his ability to block. so he can use that on the inside against the linebackers and against defensive ends and probably blitzing corners every once in a while. He can be great because he has the athleticism, just not on the outside edge. He can't beat the jam. He isn't physical enough to beat that jam outside to create separation, get open. But more than likely, as a tight end, you're just chipping a guy and trying to get open. So it's not necessarily being jammed up 100% of the time, or at least 50% of the time on the outside. You're facing those defenders who want to face off against the X-type receiver. Hopefully they are planning on moving him over because of his ability or inability to be able to adjust to the wide receiver position. Because honestly, there are a few that are of that height and that weight who can make that transition or make that ability or make that jump to the NFL from college and be able to have that spark. You got your DK Metcalfs, your Julio Jones, your Calvin Johnsons. And then there's everybody else. Waller didn't pan out with him as a wide receiver. Was it a bad thing? No. He got a nice lucrative deal out of switching positions. And hopefully this happens for Boykin on the roster as well. Because last thing I need to see is him go down to Houston and Dave Culley revives his career at the tight end position. Good times. So, because I'm thinking Boykin, he can either get cut, he can get traded, or he can move over to the tight end. Like I said, when you're usually able to, when you want people to move over, like I said, it's because they're just not shifty enough. They don't usually come out of their cuts nice enough. And like I said, if that size, 6'4", 220 pounds, it says wide receiver right now because he's missing the 20 pounds that goes along with it. But he should move over to the tight end position and go ahead and head to a couple of buffets, hit some Wendy's up or whatever, but gain the weight that is needed to be an average size tight end. The average size is 240 pounds, 6'3", 240 pounds. So he's got the height. He just needs to get the weight, and he'll have that under control and be able to move over to that position. Like I say, I believe he can beat out Tomlinson and the rest of these guys because Tomlinson has some key drops, especially in the Steelers game. You saw that, hey, RG3 threw him a nice ball at halftime that could have put them in the lead, and he dropped it. So we want guys who can catch the ball, and Miles Boykin can definitely catch. So you're probably wondering who's actually made this transition besides Darren Waller. Well, whether it be at the high school level, the college level, or the NFL level, there's been a few that did make that transition. You have Hunter Henry. In all of high school, he was a wide receiver. You have Jared Cook, who played about, I say 30, he had 32 passes, 32 catches for 800 yards and 10 touchdowns in high school as a wide receiver. And he played 11 games in college as a wide receiver. Then you move forward down to Evan Ingram. In high school, he was a wide receiver. Tyler Higbee. Let's see, some other notable names. Hayden Hurst. He walked on as a wide receiver in college. Logan Thomas played some quarterback, but also played some wide receiver. And then this name, I don't know if y'all recognize this guy, but I'm going to just go ahead and list these stats off. 3,674 yards and 48 touchdowns in high school. It's Mark Andrews as a wide receiver. As a wide receiver, y'all, you hear me? Okay, so then there's other people who probably need to make the transition the opposite direction. So Evan Ingram and let's say Kyle Pitts. They can't block. Let's just be real with it. I'm going to go ahead and call that baby ugly like it's supposed to be. They cannot block. They are athletic individuals, but you need them to block for you on a run or even pass protect. They just can't seem to do it. They don't have that level of dog in them to be able to block. And I'm hoping that with the extra added weight and with some good coaching, that Boykin can get that type of physical dog in him and not have to worry about being so shifty on the outside when it comes to being a tight end. So you look at it, it's the only way he's going to survive, folks. It's the only way. Because either that or he's going to be, kind of bagging groceries at Albertsons. It's not, I'm just saying. But anyway, this is the home of Original Sports Perspective. From our couch to yours. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button, smack that bell so you know when I'm coming. Y'all take care. Have a great day. Hold on tight. Strap in. It's going to get hectic. Couch Rider Report. An Original Sports Perspective.